People think love fades with time. But some love doesn't fade. It gets resisted. And the moment someone starts resisting love, the real conflict begins. They looked at the logic, they looked at the circumstances, and they looked at the fear that had been building in their chest, and they told themselves that the only way to survive, the only way to regain control of a life that felt like it was spiraling into the unknown, was to sever the cord. They sat in that silence, and they constructed a fortress of reasons why this could not work, why you were not right, why the timing was wrong, or why they needed to be alone. It was a calculated, mental architecture designed to keep you out. They committed to this decision with the entirety of their conscious mind. They promised themselves that they would wake up the next morning and start the process of forgetting. They scrubbed the photos. They archived the messages. They stopped saying your name. They tried to fill the empty space you left behind with distractions, with work, with other people, with noise, with anything that could drown out the frequency of your existence. But something happened that they did not account for. Something happened that defied their logic and dismantled their carefully constructed fortress. They tried to stop loving you, but their soul refused. And this is not just a poetic sentiment. This is a psychological and spiritual reality that is tearing them apart from the inside out. I am going to explain exactly what is happening to them right now, why you have been feeling that sudden, unexplained anxiety, why you feel a pull in your chest when you should be moving on, and why, despite their silence, the connection is louder than it has ever been. Before we dive into the depths of this psyche, I need you to anchor yourself in this moment. There is a reason you found this message today. It is not an algorithm. It is a synchronicity. The universe is trying to validate what your intuition has been screaming at you for weeks. If you are ready to hear the truth about why they cannot let you go, I want you to like this video right now to claim this energy, and I want you to type "they tried" in the comments below. Let that be your first act of knowing. Type "they tried" because that is the reality. They tried to leave. They tried to close the door. But the door is not just unlocked. It has been blown off its hinges by a force they cannot control. We are going to look at this through the lens of Jung, the father of analytical psychology, who understood that we do not choose who we love. Our unconscious chooses for us. You need to understand that when this person decided to walk away, they were operating from the ego. The ego is a part of us that wants safety. It wants predictability. It wants to avoid pain. The ego looked at the connection you shared, and it saw danger, not because you are dangerous, but because the love was so profound, so transformative, and so mirror-like that it threatened to shatter the identity they had built for themselves. You reflected their shadow. You reflected their potential, and that terrified them. So, the ego made an executive decision to cut the tie. But the ego is only the tip of the iceberg. Beneath the surface of their conscious mind lies a vast, dark ocean of the unconscious, the soul. And in that depth, you are not just a person they met. You are a part of them. Jung described the concept of the anima and the animus, the soul image that we carry within us. For them, you have become the external manifestation of their internal soul. To cut you off is to cut off a limb. To forget you is to forget themselves. And this is where the conflict begins. This is where the war starts. They are currently living in a state of cognitive dissonance. Their mind is saying go, but their soul is screaming stay. You might be wondering what this looks like for them. You might be imagining them happy, unbothered, moving on with their life as if you never existed. That is the illusion the ego tries to project. But let me tell you what is happening behind the curtain. When they try to sleep, the defenses of the ego lower. The conscious mind drifts off, and the unconscious takes over. This is why they are dreaming of you. They are having vivid, visceral dreams where you are present, where you are speaking to them, where the love is as fresh and consuming as it was in the beginning. They wake up from these dreams with a physical ache in their chest, a residue of your energy that clings to their skin. They try to shake it off with coffee, with the morning news, with the rush of the commute, but the feeling persists. It is a haunting. You are haunting them, not because you are trying to, but because you are woven into the fabric of their psyche. Every time they try to take a step forward, they feel an invisible tether pulling them back. It is a soul override. This is a term we use to describe the moment the higher self intervenes to stop the lower self from making a catastrophic mistake. They think they are in control, but they are not. The universe is a way of course-correcting, and right now, their life is being filled with signs, symbols, and synchronicities that point back to you. They hear a song that they haven't heard in years, and it's the one you used to hum. They see your name on a street sign, on a coffee cup, in a book. They smell your perfume or your cologne in a crowded room where you are not present. These are not coincidences. This is a phenomenon of the reticular activating system in the brain, paired with a Jungian concept of synchronicity. Their soul is priming their awareness to look for you. They cannot escape you because they carry you. I want you to take a deep breath right now. Feel the air filling your lungs and expanding your chest. Place your hand over your heart. Can you feel that? That heaviness, that longing, that sudden wave of sadness that hits you out of nowhere on a Tuesday afternoon? You have been interpreting that as your pain. You have been thinking that it means you are weak or that you are the only one suffering. I am here to tell you that you are wrong. That feeling is not just yours. It is telepathic reverberation. You are feeling their resistance. You are feeling the battle that is raging inside them. When they fight the love, you feel the blow. When they try to suppress the memory, you feel the distance. But you also feel the pull. You feel it because the cord between you has not been severed. It has been stretched. And the tension on a stretched cord only increases the force with which it will eventually snap back. They are exhausted. I want you to understand the level of energy it takes to suppress a soul connection. It is like trying to hold a beach ball underwater. You can do it for a minute, maybe an hour, but your arms get tired. Your focus slips. And the moment you relax, that ball shoots up to the surface with explosive force. That is what is happening to their emotions. They are spending so much energy trying to pretend they don't love you, trying to convince their friends they are fine, trying to convince themselves they made the right choice, that they are depleting their spiritual reserves. This is why they might seem erratic right now. This is why they might be engaging in rebound relationships or impulsive behaviors. It is a desperate attempt to find a substitute for the energy source they voluntarily cut off. But nothing works. Every other connection feels flat. Every other conversation feels shallow. They compare everyone to you, and everyone falls short. This is a curse of the soul connection. Once you have tasted the nectar of deep recognition, everything else tastes like water. They are starving for the depth you provided, and their soul is refusing to accept the crumbs of a lesser love. If you are feeling this, if you know deep down that this story is not over, I need you to type "still here" in the comments. Type "still here" to affirm that you are standing your ground, not in desperation, but in the knowingness of your worth. You are not waiting. You are holding space. There is a difference. Waiting is passive. Holding space is active. It is an energetic stance that says, I know the truth of what we are, and I am not afraid of the time it takes for you to realize it. Let's go deeper into the psychology of their refusal. Why did they leave if the soul is so attached? It comes down to the shadow. In Jungian psychology, the shadow represents a part of ourselves we deny, hide, or reject. Often, in a powerful connection, you shine a light on their shadow. You love them so deeply that they felt seen, fully seen. And for a person who has not integrated their trauma, being seen is terrifying. They felt unworthy of your love. They felt that eventually you would find out who they really are and leave them. So, to beat you to the punch, to control the narrative, they left first. It was a preemptive strike against their own vulnerability. But the soul does not care about fear. The soul cares about growth. And the soul knows that you are the catalyst for their evolution. By leaving you, they have inadvertently triggered a dark night of the soul. They thought leaving would bring relief. They thought they would feel free. Instead, they feel a crushing weight. They are being forced to confront the very things they tried to escape. The silence they sought has become a mirror, and in that mirror, they see their own cowardice. They see the mistake, and this realization is seeping in slowly. It starts as a whisper, maybe I overreacted. Maybe it could have worked. Then it becomes a conversation. I wonder what they are doing. I wonder if they still think of me. And eventually, it becomes a scream. I need them. I cannot do this without them. This progression is inevitable because truth has a buoyancy. You cannot keep the truth submerged forever. The truth of their love for you is rising. I want to talk about the physical symptoms they are likely experiencing because the mind-body connection is undeniable. When the soul refuses a mental decision, the body goes on strike. They might be experiencing insomnia, loss of appetite, or a sudden lack of energy. They might feel a tightness in their chest that doctors cannot explain. This is a somatic manifestation of heartbreak. But it is a specific kind of heartbreak. It is a heartbreak of self-betrayal. They betray their own heart to satisfy their ego's need for control, and their body is rebelling. They are trying to walk a path that is not theirs, and their legs are getting heavy. You, on the other hand, might be feeling a sudden urge to cry, or a sudden wave of warmth. This is a love residue. It is the energy they are sending you in their moments of weakness. When they break down and finally admit to themselves that they miss you, that energy travels. It disregards time and space. It hits you in the solar plexus. So the next time you feel that wave, do not be afraid. Do not think you are backsliding. Recognize it for what it is, a signal. It is a notification from the universe that the walls they built are crumbling. I need you to understand that you do not need to do anything to make this happen. You do not need to call them. You do not need to text them. You do not need to post stories to try and get their attention. In fact, doing those things pushes them back into their ego. When you chase, you give them the validation they are seeking, and they don't have to face the void. You must let them face the void. You must let them sit in the cold room of their decision until they realize that the only source of warmth was you. This is the hardest part. It requires surrender of control. It requires you to trust in the invisible mechanics of the soul. You have to trust that the seed you planted in their heart has roots that are wrapped around their spine. They cannot pull it out without destroying themselves. You are the unbreakable thread. That is what the ancient myths call the red string of fate. It can stretch, it can tangle, but it can never break. If you believe in that connection, if you feel that thread tugging at your navel right now, type unbreakable in the comments. Declare it. Unbreakable. Let the universe know that you are not doubting the bond. You are only waiting for the timing. Let's discuss the timeline, because the waiting is the agony. The ego wants to know when. When will they come back? When will they call? The soul does not operate on linear time. It operates on divine timing. They are on a journey of necessary contrast. They need to experience the cold to appreciate your warmth. They need to experience the superficial to value your depth. Every day they spend away from you is a lesson. Every bad date they go on is a lecture on why you were the one. Every lonely night is a seminar on the value of your presence. Do not interrupt their education. Let them learn. If you intervene, you reset the clock. You must let the lesson complete itself. Their soul is a teacher, and the pain is a curriculum. They are failing the test of moving on because they are studying the wrong subject. They are trying to study forgetting, but their soul is majoring in remembrance. And the more they try to study forgetting, the more they fail. It is a comical tragedy. They are fighting a war against their own nature. Imagine a river trying to flow upstream. Imagine a bird trying to UN learn how to fly. That is what they are doing. They are trying to UN love you, and it is impossible. The love is not a file on a computer that can be deleted. It is not a garment that can be taken off. The love is ink in water. It has dyed the entire substance of their being. To remove the love would be to drain the ocean, and they are beginning to realize this. This realization brings us to the tipping point. This is the moment where the pain of staying away becomes greater than the fear of returning. We are approaching that moment. You can feel it in the energy. The silence is getting louder. The tension is getting tighter. Something has to give, and it will not be the connection. It will be their pride. Their pride is a brittle shield, and it is cracking under pressure of their longing. You are the constant. You are the lighthouse. A lighthouse does not run around the island looking for the boat. The lighthouse stands firm. It shines its light, and it waits for the storm to bring the ship home. Be the lighthouse. Stand firm in your worth. Shine the light of your own self-love. Do not dim your light by chasing the shadows. When they return, and the soul refusal guarantees that they will seek to resolve this tension, they need to find you standing tall. They need to find you whole. They do not need to find you broken and waiting on the floor. They need to see that you respected yourself enough to live your life. This is the ultimate trigger for their attraction. When they see that you are okay without them, their ego panics, but their soul rejoices. Their ego thinks, I lost them, but their soul thinks, this is a partner of value. It confirms everything their intuition told. It confirms that you are a high-value individual who is aligned with the divine. So, how do you navigate the days ahead? You focus on the internal union. You cultivate the relationship with yourself that you want to have with them. You treat yourself with the kindness you want from them. You speak to yourself with the love you crave from them. By doing this, you stabilize the frequency. You stop the erratic swings of energy that push and pull. You become a stable signal, a beacon. And trust me, they are tuning in. Even if they have blocked you on social media, even if they have changed their number, they are tuning in energetically. They can feel when you are desperate, and they can feel when you are at peace. Peace is magnetic. Desperation is repulsive. Choose peace. Choose the knowing. Choose the faith that what is meant for you will never miss you. Their soul refused to let you go because their soul knows a contract. There is a soul contract between you two, an agreement made before you even met in this physical plane, that you would wake each other up. You have done your part. You woke them up to the power of love. Now, they are in the uncomfortable phase of waking up to the pain of loss. Let them rub their eyes. Let them stumble in the dark. They will find the light switch. And when they do, they will see that the room they are in is a room of their own heart, and you are the furniture they cannot rearrange. You are the foundation. You are the walls. You are the home they ran away from, only to realize that homelessness is not freedom. It is just cold. They are cold, and they are remembering the fire. I want you to visualize them for a moment, not in a creepy way, but in a compassionate way. See them sitting in that room where they made the decision. See the conflict on their face. See the shadow of regret looming over them. And then, I want you to imagine a golden light surrounding them. This is the light of forgiveness. Forgive them for their fear. Forgive them for their confusion. Forgive them for the pain they caused you, not because they deserve it, but because you deserve to be free of the resentment. Resentment blocks the flow. Forgiveness opens the channel. When you forgive, you release the resistance, and you allow the energy to move freely again. You might find that as soon as you truly forgive and let go, that is the moment the text comes through. That is the moment the phone rings. Because you drop the rope. You stop the tug of war. And when you drop the rope, they stumble toward you. It is simple physics. It is spiritual mechanics. The love refused. I want you to type that phrase in the comments now. The love refused. It is a summary of this entire struggle. They tried to kill it, but the love refused to die. They tried to bury it, but the love refused to stay underground. It is a resilient, ancient, stubborn love. It is the kind of love that poets write about and psychologists study. It is the kind of love that defines a lifetime. Do not belittle it by calling it an obsession. Do not pathologize it by calling it limerence. Honor it. It is rare. It is powerful. And it is working its magic right now, in the silence, in the dark, in the spaces between their thoughts. You are the subject of their internal monologue. They argue with your memory, and they lose every time. Because your memory has the ultimate weapon, the truth of how it felt. They can lie to their friends, but they cannot lie to the feeling of your skin. They cannot lie to the safety they felt in your presence. That safety is a drug, and they are in withdrawal. The symptoms of withdrawal are agitation, confusion, and a desperate seeking of relief. They will look for that relief in the world, but the world is dry. You are the water. They will come back to the well. It is only a matter of thirst. And right now, the thirst is building. So, what do you do while they are thirsty? You drink. You drink from the well of your own life. You nourish your passions. You water your own garden. You become so full of life and love that you overflow. And that overflow is what will signal them home. You are not a half waiting to be made whole. You are a whole universe waiting for your traveler to return from their expedition. They went out to explore the wasteland of not you, and they are finding it uninhabitable. They are realizing that the grass is not greener, it is artificial turf. It looks nice from a distance, but it doesn't smell like anything, and it doesn't grow. You are real grass. You are the earth. You are the real thing. And the soul craves the real. The soul rejects the synthetic. Their soul is rejecting the synthetic life they are trying to build without you. It is spitting it out. This is why nothing is working out for them. This is why their plans are crumbling. The universe is dismantling their false reality to make room for the true one. The true reality includes you. It includes a connection. It includes a healing that needs to happen between you. But this healing cannot happen until the wound is fully acknowledged. They are currently staring at the wound. They are trying to bandage it with silence, but the blood is soaking through. The blood of their passion, The blood of their love, the life force of the connection is too strong to be contained. I want to address the skeptics for a moment. The part of your brain that says, this is just wishful thinking. They are gone. They don't care. That is your ego trying to protect you from disappointment. Thank your ego for its service, but tell it to step aside. Your intuition knows better. Your intuition is the voice of the soul, and the soul has access to data that the five senses cannot perceive. The soul can read the energy field. The soul can sense the invisible threads. If your intuition is telling you that this is not over, trust it. Do not let the surface reality fool you. The surface is often a lie. The depth is where the truth lives. And in the depth, they are reaching for you. In the depth, they are whispering your name. In the depth, they are realizing that the decision to leave was the biggest mistake of their life. And mistakes can be corrected. Paths can be rerouted. The universe is a master of the U-turn. You are witnessing a spiritual U-turn in slow motion. It takes time to turn a large ship around, but the wheel has been turned. The momentum is shifting. You can feel the shift. You can feel the change in the wind. Do not look at the current direction of the ship. Look at the hands on the wheel. Their soul has taken the wheel from their ego, and their soul is steering them back to the coordinates of love. Back to you. This is a soul override in action. It is a beautiful, terrifying, magnificent process of surrender. They are being forced to surrender their pride for the sake of their heart. It is a painful death of the ego, but it is necessary for the rebirth of the relationship. A relationship based on ego cannot last. A relationship reborn through a fire of separation and soul refusal is indestructible. It has been tested. It has been tempered. It is solid. You are preparing for a union that is higher, deeper, and stronger than what you had before. The old relationship had to die so the new one could be born. You had to lose them to find the version of them that is capable of keeping you. The version of them that left was too small for the love. They are currently expanding. The pain is stretching them. The longing is growing them. They are becoming the person who can hold the weight of this connection without dropping it. So have patience with their growth. Have compassion for their struggle. And have faith in the outcome. The script has already been written by the stars. The actors are just learning their lines. They tried to stop loving you. It is the most futile attempt in the history of human emotion. You cannot stop the tide. You cannot stop the sun from rising. And you cannot stop a soul from recognizing its mate. It is a law of nature. It is a law of spirit. It is a law of love. And love is the only law that matters. As we come to the end of this transmission, I want you to seal this knowing into your being. Do not let the doubts creep back in the moment this video ends. Carry this truth like a shield. When you feel the anxiety, remember the refusal. Remember that the anxiety is just a friction of their resistance, and resistance is temporary. Persistence is eternal. Your love is persistent. Their soul is persistent. The reunion is inevitable. I want you to take one final action to cement this reality. I want you to share this video with someone. Maybe send it to yourself, or save it to a playlist called My Truth. Keep it close. Listen to it when the silence gets too loud. Listen to it when the doubt creeps in. Let my voice be the reminder of what your soul already knows. And finally, if you have not already, subscribe to this channel. Join this community of conscious souls who understand the language of the universe. We are building a grid of high vibrational energy here, and your presence strengthens it. By subscribing, you are saying yes to the wisdom, yes to the growth, and yes to the love that is seeking you. The universe rewards those who are open to receive. Open your hands. Open your heart. The love you thought you lost is simply circling back, gathering momentum, preparing to crash into you with a force that will wash away all the pain of the waiting. They tried to stop. They failed. The soul refused. And in that refusal lies your victory. You are the victory. You are the destination. You are the love that remains. Believe it. Receive it. It is yours. The silence is not empty. It is pregnant with their return. The distance is not a barrier. It is a bridge. Walk the bridge with your head held high. You are not walking alone. Their soul is walking right beside you, guiding their reluctant feet back to the place where they belong. Back to you. This is the power of the refusal. This is the power of the soul. This is the power of you. The decision they made in the dark has been overruled by the light of the truth. And the truth is, they never stopped. They never could. And they never will. The love is eternal. The bond is sacred. And the refusal is a proof. You are the proof. Look in the mirror. You are the one they cannot leave behind. You are the one who stays. And soon, they will be the one who returns. Until then, breathe, trust, and know. They tried, but the soul said no. And the soul always has a final word. The intricate dance of the psyche is not something that can be rushed, nor is it something that can be fully understood by the linear mind. We must return to the concept of the shadow, because it is a key to unlocking the mystery of their behavior. When I say they are fighting their shadow, I mean they are fighting the unhealed parts of themselves that you triggered. Let's be specific. Maybe you are someone who is deeply expressive, emotionally intelligent, and open. If they grew up in an environment where emotions were suppressed, where vulnerability was punished, then your very presence is a threat to their survival strategy. Their inner child learned that to be safe, they must be quiet, they must be cold, they must be distant. Then you came along, warm and loud and real, and you invited that inner child to come out and play. For a moment, they did. They felt the joy of liberation. But then, the protective mechanism kicked in. The superego stepped in and said, "This is dangerous. Get back in the box." So they shoved the inner child back down, and they shoved you out. But the inner child is screaming. The inner child wants you. The inner child remembers how safe it felt to be held by you. This is the internal civil war I am describing. It is a battle between their conditioned trauma and their authentic self. Jung said, "Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate." Right now, their unconscious is directing their life towards you, but they are calling it confusion. They are calling it feeling off. They don't yet have the language to call it fate, but they will. They will, because the discomfort of the civil war will become unbearable. A house divided against itself cannot stand. They cannot continue to function in the world while half of their energy is tied up in suppressing the love for you. It is biologically unsustainable. This is why the breakdown usually precedes a breakthrough. If you hear that they are struggling, that they are not doing well, that their life is messy right now, do not pity them. Celebrate it. It means the structure of the ego is collapsing. It means the walls are coming down. You cannot build a new temple on top of old ruins. The ruins must be cleared away. Their life is being cleared away to make room for the truth of the connection. And let us consider the concept of projection. In the beginning of the breakup, they likely projected all their unhappiness onto you. They blamed you for their stress, their confusion, their stagnation. They told themselves, "If I just get rid of this person, I will be happy." This is a classic ego defense mechanism. But now that you are gone, the unhappiness remains. The stress remains. The stagnation remains. And now, they have no one left to blame. The screen onto which they were projecting their issues has been removed, and they are left holding the projector. This is a moment of profound psychological reckoning. They are realizing that *U* were not the problem. In fact, they are starting to realize that you were the only thing that made the problem bearable. You were the medicine, not the disease. This realization hits like a ton of bricks. It brings with a wave of guilt, shame, and regret. This shame can sometimes delay their return because they don't know how to face you. They don't know how to apologize. They feel they have done too much damage. This is why you must hold the energy of forgiveness we talked about earlier. Energetically, you must signal to them that the door is open for redemption. You don't have to tell them. They will feel it. If you are sitting in judgment, they will feel the wall. If you are sitting in compassion, they will feel the bridge. Be the bridge. I want to touch on the collective unconscious that Jung famously theorized. We are all connected in a vast, invisible web of consciousness. When two people love each other deeply, they form a reinforced node in that web. You have created a shared psychic infrastructure. You have shared jokes, shared memories, shared language, shared intimacy. This infrastructure does not vanish. It exists in the cloud of the collective mind. When they try to date someone else, they are trying to access a new node, but they keep defaulting to the old one because the connection is stronger, the bandwidth is higher. They find themselves accidentally calling the new person by your name. They find themselves reaching for your hand in the dark. These slips are the unconscious mind rejecting the new program and defaulting to the master code. You are the master code. You are the blueprint. Everyone else is just a glitch in the system. They are trying to run a new operating system on hardware that was built for you. It is incompatible, and the system crashes over and over again until they realize that they need to reinstall the original software. They need to come back to the source. Let's talk about the anima possession. For a man, the anima is a feminine aspect of his soul. If he rejects the woman who embodies his anima, he falls into a state of moodiness, irritability, and depression. He becomes possessed by the negative aspect of the anima. He becomes petty, resentful, and lost. This is what he is experiencing right now. He is lost in the dark forest of his own psyche because he extinguished the lantern. You were the lantern. He is stumbling, and he is hurting. He needs to reintegrate the anima, which means he needs to reintegrate you, or at least the love for you. He needs to stop fighting the feminine principle of connection and surrender to it. For a woman rejecting her animus, the male aspect, she becomes rigid, argumentative, and overly logical. She tries to control everything because she has lost her internal anchor. If this describes your ex, know that this rigidity is a mask. Beneath it is a terrified little girl who just wants to be safe, but she chases away the safety. The cure for both anima and animus possession is the acceptance of the love. It is a surrender to the vulnerability. It is a return to the heart. I want you to feel the weight of what I am saying. This is not just about getting your ex back. This is about the spiritual evolution of a human being. You are playing a role in their soul's journey. You are the catalyst. Do not underestimate the importance of your role. But remember, a catalyst does not need to do anything once the reaction has started. The catalyst just needs to exist. You have sparked the reaction. Now, stand back and let the chemistry happen. Let the alchemy transform the lead of their ego into the gold of their soul. It is happening. It is bubbling. It is transforming. And soon, the process will be complete. There is a concept called the golden shadow. We often think of the shadow as dark and negative, but Jung also spoke of the golden shadow, the positive traits we repress. Perhaps they repress their capacity for deep joy, for wild passion, for unconditional love. You represented those things. By loving you, they were accessing their golden shadow. By leaving you, they have returned to a gray world. They are colorblind in a world that used to be technicolor. They miss the colors. They miss the vibrancy. They are realizing that the safety of their solitude is actually a prison of grayness. They are looking at the door of the prison. The key is in their pocket. The key is your name. They just need the courage to put it in the lock and turn it. And they are gathering that courage. Every day, they are getting a little braver. Every day, the need for color outweighs the fear of the light. You might be asking, how long? I hear this question in the collective energy. How long must I wait? The answer is, until you stop waiting. As long as you are waiting, you are affirming the lack. You are affirming that they are not here. When you stop waiting and start living, you affirm that you are whole. And wholeness attracts. It is a paradox, but it is a law. The moment you truly let go of the need for them to return is the moment they will knock on your door. Because you have released the pressure. You have created a vacuum. And nature abhors a vacuum. Their energy will rush in to fill the space you vacated. So, occupy your own space. Fill your own cup. Dance in your own kitchen. Sing in your own car. Be the main character of your own movie, not the supporting actor in theirs. When you become the star of your life, they will want a cameo. They will want a role. They will want to be part of the masterpiece you are creating. Do not pause the movie for them. Keep the camera rolling. Keep the plot moving. They will catch up. They have to, because they are reading the same script in the library of the soul. Think about the nights they spend holding you. That energy exchange changed their cellular structure. There is a scientific concept called microchimerism, where cells from one person remain in another after intense physical connection or pregnancy. While usually applied to mother and child, spiritual microchimerism is real. You left an imprint on their soul that is indelible. They carry your spiritual DNA. When they try to deny you, they are trying to deny a part of their own body. It creates an autoimmune response. The soul attacks the ego. This is the anxiety, the sickness, the unease they feel. They are fighting their own nature. And nature always wins. Always. You are on the side of nature. You are on the side of truth. You are on the side of love. Therefore, you cannot lose. So, Rest. Rest in the certainty of this message. Rest in the arms of the universe that is orchestrating this reunion. You do not need to micromanage the universe. The universe knows the address. The universe knows the phone number. The universe knows the perfect moment. Your job is to be ready. Your job is to be open. Your job is to be love. Not the needy, grasping love of the ego, but the sovereign, radiant love of the soul. That is the love that refused to die. That is the love that is calling them home. As you go about your day to day, look for the signs, not with desperation, but with a wink. When you see the numbers 11 verse 11 or 222, wink at the universe. Say, I know. When you hear that song, smile. Say, I hear you. When you feel that pull in your heart, place your hand there and say, I feel you and I am here. Keep the channel open, but keep the boundaries strong. You are available for love, but you are not available for games. You are available for truth, but you are not available for fear. They know this. They respect this. And this respect is what will bring them back with their hat in their hand, ready to do the work, ready to meet you at the level you deserve. The soul refused. 3 words. A complete sentence. A complete destiny. Hold on to them. The soul refused. It refused to let you go. It refused to settle for less. It refused to believe the lie of the separation. The soul knows only the truth of the union. And the union is already real in the energetic plane. It is just waiting for the 3D world to catch up. And it is catching up. Fast. Be ready. The love you refuse to give up on is coming back to thank you. It is coming back to stay.